Hello, welcome to Comfortable Shoes Studio and another episode of Art Making. I'm Les, and in this episode, I'm making some watercolor backgrounds with some watercolor palettes that I've had around for ages. So I got this new watercolor palette, and I was reminded I have this watercolor palette, this watercolor palette, that watercolor palette. I have all these old palettes, and what I want to do is use up some of this color. And that's what I'm going to do in this episode. I also want to, in the new watercolor palette, use up that purple color because it's garbage. So I thought the best way to use it is to make backgrounds with it. So I've got this stack of inexpensive watercolor paper that I am not going to use for anything. I ordered them off of Amazon, and they are not exactly what I wanted, and I missed the return deadline. So we're going to use them for this. So this first stack of watercolor paper is actually gouache paper. It's got a like pattern, like a textured pattern that I really don't like on one side. The reverse side is much more flat than the top side. But it's not sized well. The top side is sized pretty well for watercolor, so it works well. This watercolor pad actually works pretty decently. It came with some watercolor markers. And then I have this coloring pad that also came with the markers, and I thought I was going to end up using it um, for this purpose, but it's garbage. So I work with it a little bit and then decide not to use it anymore. So, what I've done in advance is I've gone through and I've added some water to the watercolor palettes to re-wet them. These palettes have been sitting around for a really long time, and re-wetting them in advance is necessary. So, I've got a couple of wax pens or pencil, well, they're crayons. I've got a Neo Pastel from caran. It's white. It's not water soluble. I've also got a white China marker, and I'm going to make some random patterns on the paper before I go into it with the watercolors. I'm looking for a little bit of a resist texture, just to make it a little more interesting than me just blobbing the watercolors on the page. Here I'm using a small chunk of Caran d'Ache Neo Pastel 1. Um, this is their non-water soluble version of these crayons, and it does work really, really well for most of the work that I'm doing today. Again, just random scribbles, swirls, and whatnot. Um, this the crayon is pretty old. I've dropped it a couple of times, so it's in bits and pieces. It's not in the greatest of shape. This is a China marker in white, and I'm just going in and again, random patterns, random squiggles, scribbles, and swirls on the paper. Just being really random at making these marks. So again, I'm working some of this on the backside of this paper that has less texture, and some of this on the front side that has a lot of texture. Um, I am doing a voiceover here, even though I initially did a chat while I work. But I for what there's something happened to my microphone. It may have run out of juice. I'm not exactly sure what happened. But anyway, lost the audio, and now I'm doing the voiceover. So if you're wondering why it doesn't exactly match up, that's why. Probably should have told you that at the beginning. All right. Um, so I don't know what I was saying here. Honestly, it was pretty off the cuff. I'm using a big filbert brush. It's a little rounded. They call it a round oval. Um, but it's a filbert. All right. So I'm getting in straight away into that garbage purple. And I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up on screen, but what is happening here is as this purple paint hits the page, it immediately separates out into a pink color and then a purple color. That just tells me that it's dye based, or there's some sort of dye in it that is not blending. It's just not staying in solution while it is being used. So the pink color really sucks into the paper really, really fast with that purple paint, and it doesn't. It's not good. Um, it's just bad paint. But for backgrounds that are going to be scanned in and used digitally, there it's fine because I don't have to worry about it being light fast. I don't have to worry about it, um, not being right for years to come. And also, for art journal use, it's fine. I I think at this point when I post this particular video, um, my review of this little watercolor set will already be up. So no spoilers, but I actually really like the form factor of it. I like the pans. There's 9 pans. The other rest of the paint's okay. But the downside for this set is that you can't get the color out. I tried to pry that purple out, but I couldn't do it without risking damaging the actual palette. But you can find similar palettes on AliExpress and Amazon without any paint in it. And I would suggest that rather than buying this particular set. This set is sold for like 20 bucks. And anyway, this is not the review for that. Go check out the review for it. Not the most positive review I've ever done, but if you were to get this set as a gift, um, you know, find a way to get rid of that purple paint. And that's one of the things that I'm doing with this purple paint right now is using it up and getting that paint softened so I can scrape it out of the palette and actually use the palette as a palette. Anyway, the original voiceover is going to start again here soon. So I'm just working real wet, real loose on these pages. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun and we're going to call it good. All right, and I'm going to let the original voiceover take control now. And I want to put more water. All right, let's start with a magenta. So, a sign of quality watercolors is that these watercolors are re-wetting remarkably well, and I'm getting, great pools of color, of the intensity I would expect from these colors on day one. So, that's really cool. right. I feel like that magenta color is almost at the end of what's in that container. But there could be a lot more. So this yellow is a really nice watercolor. I don't know what brand it was, but whatever it was super nice. All right, we got this one is pulling a lot. It's gonna give it a little flip. The colors run a little differently. And I'm gonna go for, this is either an indigo, yeah, it's indigo. It just flicked that all over my hand. All right. Now, let this set a little bit. While we do that, we're gonna take some of these that are wet and tap them off onto the dry page. I'm gonna let these dry a little bit because I got a lot going on my desk, and I'm gonna get some more water. Oops, forgot to hit record. Thought I had. And all right. So trying to get some color into the watercolor pad and onto this. This paper is super thin. That's really just for giggles in my book. In terms of this stuff, it's doing all right. Making some headway into this purple watercolor in this little plastic set I picked up. Which I really do I just want to use that up and get it out of there. I have tried repeatedly to pry this color out of this container, and it is glued in there really, really well. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. No matter what I try. I just really don't like that color separation that I keep getting with it. It's just not what I want. Let's some more of that purple. And I did go ahead and spray paint the inside of the lid of this container, which gives me a whole other mixing area. No, I'm not mixing anything today, but in the future it gives me a spot to mix color. And I got more purple in there. All right, more of that purple. All right. All right, let's try. That puts down a lot of water. Put some cool stuff there. This, I don't know that I'll actually, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I've got 2 more to do. Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever actually use these other than to use up that purple paint. Well, a good thing is that I am more than half done with this crappy purple paint. All right. let's see what we've got here. We've got this, which actually, this paper is a lot nicer than I would have given it initial credit for. The colors are nice and vibrant on it, which I like. The same for this. The colors are not chalky on it. So despite the fact that it's actually pretty absorbent, it's quite nice. I'm classifying some of these as like backgrounds, like landscapey backgrounds. Even that's kind of a landscapey background. Got some sunset vibes going here. Again, with watercolor, this is not the greatest paper because of the way it is textured. The texture I find a little distracting for watercolor paper. I mean, this was not billed as watercolor paper. It was sold as gouache paper. It would probably be really nice for that. And then yeah, that one's kind of a landscapey. Also landscapey. It's kind of sunset, sunset sky vibes with this. All right, that's, yeah, I'm liking these a lot. Not sure how I'm going to use them. Like I said, I was just trying to get in there and mostly use up that purple paint. I'm more than halfway there. I'm definitely going to see if I can scoop that out. I don't have anything here to really scoop it out with. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if I can scoop it out. This is just a chunk of soda can. It's still really adhered in there. I'm not looking hopeful for scooping that out anytime soon. I think all I can do is keep adding some more water to it and then getting it soft and just using it. The unfortunate thing is, like, I'm pretty sure because of the separation, this is a dye-based or a lake color, so it's not going to be light fast, which is fine for this kind of stuff. A lot of this stuff is going to end up as collage material and then scanned in and used as backgrounds and whatnot. Maybe this will work. Nope. It's gonna break the tongue depressor. I mean, yeah, it just cracked that. Wow. Let's try the point. Nope. Wow. These are intensely glued in. Well, I guess that it doesn't really change my review of this at all, because you can find these watercolor sets unfilled or with pans made specifically for them on like AliExpress and things like that. So yeah, all right, I got a lot of that out, but I'll add some more water into that and let it sit. I used a lot of this one and a little bit of that one and none of that one. I just have too many going on and a lot of color still left in them. All right, so that's it for now, and we'll see what happens with these collage materials in the future. Catch you next time.